Hey there, folks. Welcome to the Jason Wright Show. If you are watching this on YouTube, please consider clicking like or subscribe, leave some comments. And if you're watching, or excuse me, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, please leave a 5-star ranking. Today's message is going to be pretty concise, pretty clear, and it's kind of a plea, if you will. It's kind of I'm begging, I'm asking you for something. I want you to do something for me. And don't worry, it won't cost you a penny. And you're the one that gets most of the benefit. And this is what I want you to do. Please, please, please consider getting smarter. Start taking the time to focus on increasing your brain's capacity to reason, to think, to just be still, to actually be bored. It's okay. I'm going to ask you to do this small favor for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is as I go to airports, I go out to restaurants, I go out to anywhere in public, one of the things that I am keenly aware of, and I think you are too, if you're honest with yourself, is that we seem to be regressing as a society. We're dumber, we're sloppier, we're fatter, our ability to just communicate is diminishing by each passing day. And I think that this correlates with why this thing that we constantly hear about, which is the wage gap or the wealth gap between the poorest of Americans and the wealthiest. This gap keeps widening and widening. And one of the things that I've noticed is there seems to be a strong correlation, as has always been the case, with really dumbed down social media consuming, TikTok obsessed, overweight, just bad thinking individuals and a lack of income. It's very rare that you see people that are very healthy, very successful, well-read, intellectual, and also morbidly obese and walking around with their face planted into their phone looking at TikTok and Instagram. Most of the wealthy people, most of the successful people, and by the way, you don't have to be wealthy to be successful. To me, wealth is more about just finding the things that are most important to you and being able to pursue them and have them in your life in a way that is meaningful. And you're really successful if you're able to figure those things out and actually define them and then pursue them and have them in your life. So it's not always about wealth, but let's face it, success pretty much correlates or does correlate quite often with income. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that there's just a lack of ability to think. And here's what's really, really troubling about it. And I think it's why I'm making a direct call. I'm making this direct plea is because it's deliberate. I just watched, or I didn't watch, it's somewhere I noticed I had a free offer come in my email for something. And I can't remember what it was. It was like a free, oh, I know what it was. It was Pluto TV or something like that. It's one of those Hulu type situations where they aggregate all the different channels, and it was free. I noticed the advertisement for it said Pluto TV. I think that's the name of it, and it's free. And here's what I thought immediately. If they're offering me this service at no charge, guess what? I'm the product. That's what is happening. And it's happening to you too. Do you know why Gmail is free? It's because you are the product. Do you know why we don't pay for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? It's because we are the product. Anytime in this digital age, when you are getting something for free, it means that somewhere the company, the advertisers, whomever is controlling the algorithm, they are vying for what has become the highest form of currency out there, which is yours and my attention. That's what they want. So one of the things that I'm trying to do, so I just got through reading for the second time Essentialism by Greg McKeown. I will put that in the show notes. I highly encourage all of you to go read it. I'm also reading Arthur Brooks' new book right now. I'm going to finish it probably this weekend, which is The Meaning of Your Life. And then the next one that I'm going to go read is Deep Work by Cal Newport. I've also started listening to Cal Newport's podcast. It's called Big Questions with Cal Newport. Cal Newport is a computer scientist at Georgetown who basically conceived this whole idea of digital minimalism and deep thought and focus. And that's what he trains on. So in that list of books that I gave you, Arthur Brooks, he focuses on happiness and meaningfulness in life. I just love his work. I like him as a person. I don't know him personally, but just watching him from afar, he just is one of the most balanced, non-political, non-dogmatic voices out there right now. And Cal Newport is just somebody who is basically taking this idea of focus and concentration and using methodologies that we use for physical fitness. I think this is a really cool idea. He actually, I'll share this on the podcast. I haven't really decided exactly how I'm going to deliver it, if I'm going to do it like in a multi-part series or whatever, but I want to try to follow Cal's brain fitness program that he's kind of put in place. I think he first outlined it in an article in the New Yorker, and then he's also talked about it on his podcast. But essentially, there are exercises that you can do to become smarter, to make your brain work better. And one of the things he mentions is reading. Reading is like push-ups for your brain. Those of you who know me, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see I've got 2 bookshelves full of books, and a person who I was actually doing a call with not too long ago, they saw those, say, have you actually read all those books? And the answer is yes. Now, there's probably a couple of them up there that I haven't gotten all the way through, but I have read most of every single book back there. And here's the thing. I don't like to read. I don't. I'm not someone who naturally likes to read. I'm not someone who has a natural ability to focus for long periods of time on one thing. In fact, I mean, my brain is constantly like a circus. The monkeys are going everywhere. There's clowns on unicycles. It's crazy. I have to really stop and focus. And one of the things that I do to that end is I read. If you look here, right there is the neck. Those of you watching, there's the neck to my guitar. I am going to start playing my guitar. But here's the thing. The reason why I'm going to start playing my guitar, the reason why I'm sticking to my reading, and the reason why I'm going to start doing more puzzles and things to exercise my brain is I want to focus on my brain the way I focus on my physical fitness. The physical fitness thing, that's just ingrained in my DNA now. Okay. I started that probably when I was 13 years old, playing organized sports, somewhere around that age. And it's never stopped. It's gone up and down through the years, but now I've dialed that in. I like to do it, but I don't always like how it feels. But in just as a kind of a different shift in thinking, it's like, well, like when I don't want to read, I'm just like all of you that are listening to this. I will be sitting and I can easily be sucked into a doom scroll. Now, I put the timers on Instagram and TikTok. I never really was big on TikTok, but Instagram is the one I like, but I don't want to look at it. So I did have the app deleted off my phone, and I'm going to do that eventually here pretty quick. The only reason why I haven't deleted it right now is because my oldest daughter just got married, and I love seeing all the postings of her pictures, and I like to post the pictures of the wedding. It was fantastic, but really I'm about to just bail on that. But what I do now is I try to make a point when I want to go to my phone to just kind of just kind of calm my brain and get that little dopamine hit, is either one, open my Kindle, which there is a Kindle app you can put right there on your iPhone and have a book to just start reading. And here's the thing that's really cool about that. If you will just get started, if you will just decide instead of, or even tell yourself before I go to Instagram, before I go to Facebook, before I go to TikTok, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 3 sentences. I'm just going to go open a book and read 3 sentences, or go to Apple News. Open up a magazine in your News Plus, if you subscribe to that like I do. Open up a magazine and say, I'm going to read 3 sentences of an article. Here's the cool thing. The getting started is the hard part, but once you get started, there's something about it that if it's even the least bit interesting, it will pull you down through the article. It will pull you into the story. It will pull you into the chapter of the book. It's very rare that I decide to go in and read 3 sentences and only read the 3 and then I'm out. Here's another thing it'll do. It's kind of like getting a little snack whenever you want a piece of sugar, or you're kind of having a craving at the end of the day. If you can just go get fruit instead, it's kind of the same, and satisfy that little sweet tooth urge that you have, or chew some gum or whatever. It's kind of the same thing for me. And I don't know, there's no scientific evidence behind this. It might not work. It may only work for me, but I kind of doubt that. But if you will actually go, and instead of going to social media, go get the snack of an article, a book, something else that's a little more beneficial that actually takes the time that you have to actually put the time into to consume, then what you'll find is you'll probably be satisfied. And either one, you'll keep reading, or two, you're not as likely to go to the social media hit. Another thing is ChatGPT or any other LLM. Stop depending on them so much. Stop it. Think before you go to chat to ask a question. Stop and think. If you want to know what is going on in Iran, if you want to understand why something is happening in the business world, stop, think, and try to do some research on your own. Go to Apple News, or just don't even go to news. Just sit and think and try to come to your own conclusion. Try to figure out, if this person's saying this person's saying this, how do I feel about this? And just contemplate it for a moment. And also, like, whenever if you're writing a letter or something to that, and well, that sounds crazy, right? And so let me back up a little bit. Write letters. Don't always send emails. Or do this. Here's something crazy. Because we live in such a digital world where I understand it's so archaic to write a handwritten letter, try this. This is, again, all of this is exercise. This is all like doing cardio, push-ups, and all that, but for your brain. It's not about getting in a habit of always writing letters, although that's very beneficial, just like journaling and journaling by hand. There is a difference. It sticks. It's better. If you take notes by hand, if you write letters by hand, it makes you think better. So all this is exercise, right? We're at Brain Camp now. So before you send an email telling somebody thank you, just take the time purely for exercise to write out your email by hand. Write the email out by hand and then type it. And then use the LLM, whether it's chat or whatever you're using. Gemini is what I use for all my emails. I rarely ever send an email now that does not go through Gemini to do the polish, just because I want it to sound as good and concise as possible. But use it as just an editor. Take the time to think and write before you actually send the email. Another thing, if you are someone who is, you're trying to figure out a problem, or something's pissed you off in the world. Trump said something that aggravated you. Hakeem Jeffries has said something that's pissed you off. Some newscaster, whatever the case may be. Instead of running to X or Instagram, write it out. Write out why you're angry. Write out what you would do differently. And here's where a lot of you might get stumped, just like I do, is write out what in history can show you that you are right or maybe you're wrong. And if you can't figure out from history, if you think, wait, there's no way this hasn't happened before, there's only been one Trump. Let me explain something to you. There is nothing new under the sun. Almost everything that is happening right now has happened in some form of fashion. It's just different packaged. I mean, it's like one of the things that I thought was really cool that Ryan Holiday shared during COVID was that instead of reading newspapers and watching the news, and if you all followed Ryan, he was very dogmatic during COVID, lost a lot of followers, and I'm sure he could care less. And in fact, I kind of shied away from Ryan just because of the way he was reacting to issues of COVID and everything. But one of the things I did like is that he looked back on the Spanish flu outbreak. I believe he looked back at, like, he started reading the history of pandemics and started reading about the news stories at the time and how those turned out and how people handled it and how people reacted, as a way to kind of look to see what are humans naturally bent on doing during these times. Instead of just always looking to the current events, look back, find a time in history where something similar has happened and see how it ended up. Because I'm telling you, there is nothing new under the sun. There just really isn't. So that's one of the things I just wanted to come on the podcast today and tell you that please, as part of the improve always and always mantra, I'm trying to do this in a much bigger way, and look, it's also a way to help overcome fears, overcome anxiety, overcome depression, overcome it's good whenever you can start to tame your brain. And it all starts with becoming a better thinker. So I beseech you, I am begging you, I am pleading with you, please try to become a better thinker. Don't always try to become a better Democrat, a better Republican, a better environmentalist, a better liberal, a better conservative. Start by just trying to be a better thinker. I'm probably going to be talking about this topic a lot. I'm going to try to reach out to some guests that can help on this topic as well. I would love to, I mean, look, I want to start shooting for some really big thinkers out there, Peter Boghossian and some of those guys that really, I think, do this well. So stay tuned. I'll try to get them on the Jason Wright Show. And until we meet again, thank you for listening. Never stop improving. I'm Jason. I'm out.
Well, that does it for this episode of The Jason Wright Show. Thank you so much for listening. This has been a Texas Titan Media production. Fourth Wall did the music. And as always, thank you so much for listening. Please consider going out to jasonwrightnow.com and signing up for the Vitruvian Letter. Also, please go out to iTunes. It takes like 30 seconds to just leave us a 5-star rating. It does wonders for the podcast. I would be so grateful. And with that, until we meet again, go crush it and endeavor to improve always in all ways. I'm out.